Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you some tips and techniques on how to solve number sequence and number series types of questions na lumalabas sa mga entrance examinations, IQ test, and lalong-lalo na sa civil service examinations. So without further ado, let's get started. For our number 1, our given are the following. Our first term is -6. Second term is positive 30. Third is -150. Fourth is 750, positive 750. And we're looking for the fifth term. Our choices are, we have A, positive 3,750. B is positive 2,250. Letter C is negative 1,500. Letter D is negative 2,250. And letter E is negative 3,750. So how do we solve for this type of problem? Now, una-una, let us look for a pattern. So ano ba yung pattern na pwede natin makita dito? Now notice the sign ng ating mga terms. The first term is a negative integer, second is positive, third is negative, and fourth is positive. Hence, yung ating fifth na hinahanap natin must be a negative number. So yan yung una. Pangalawa, dito sa problem lang na to, no? But as always, yung ating first step dapat is hanapin natin yung difference. And if we can check that it is a common difference, na yun na yung ating makikita natin na yun ay isang arithmetic sequence. Let us check the differences. Hindi ko na sinulat dito. Difference ng second and first term. So second term is 30 minus the first term, which is -6. So 30 minus -6, that gives us positive 36. Third minus second term, -150 minus positive 30, that gives us -180. And yung last 750 minus -150 will give us positive 900. Now, hindi ko sinulat dahil yung differences ng ating mga terms ay hindi common. Now, let us check naman the ratio. So, if we say the ratio, yan yung ating second step, no? Let us divide yung mga the consecutive terms. Now, in this case, divide the second by the first term para makuha natin yung ratio. So, we have our second term is positive 30 divided by the first term, -6. So, 30 divided by -6 is -5. Third term minus second, divide by second term, -150 divided by positive 30, that is also -5. And lastly, 750 divided by -150, that is also -5. So dito, meron tayong common ratio. So let us stop at this point because this is now a geometric sequence dahil meron siyang common ratio which is -5. Now, pag ganito, ang gagawin natin is to go to the last term and multiply it by the common ratio. So, ang last term natin ay 750 multiplied by -5. That would give us -3,750. Now, going back doon sa ating problem and the choices, so the correct answer is letter E, -3,750. For our number 2, our second featured problem, we have here 18.13 as our first term. Second term is 16.15. Third is 13.18. And fourth term is 9.22. And we're looking again for the fifth term. And our choices are A, 3.25. B is 4.27. Letter C is 5.23. Letter D is 6.29. And letter E is 5.26. So how do we go about this type of problem? So tingnan natin kung meron tayong common difference na makukuha. So step 1, we look for the differences ng mga magkakasunod na term. So second minus the first term, in this case 16.15 minus 18.13, ang sagot natin dyan ay -1.98. Now, this is a bit complex dahil nga we're dealing with decimals, no? So, kung ang iba ay nahihirapan, meron naman akong alternative na paraan. Okay. Next is we subtract the third and by the second term. So, we have 13.18 minus 16.15. Ang sagot dyan ay negative 2.97. Next ay fourth minus third term. So, 9.22 minus 13.18. The answer here is negative 3.96. Now, dito, meron tayong makikitang pattern din. No? Pansinin nyo yung mga whole numbers ng ating differences. Ang una ay 1. Yung pangalawang whole number ay 2. Yung pangatlo ay 3. Therefore, yung kasunod niyan na gagamitin natin would be 4. No? So, we will be subtracting later by 4. Next ay ano pa yung let's check decimal values. So we have 0.98, susundan ng 0.97, susundan ng 0.96. Therefore, yung next would be 0.95. Diba, ang isa-subtract pala natin from 9.22 na last term natin is 4.95. So if we subtract 9.22 by 4.95, ang lalabas na sagot ay 4.27. Now, alternatively, yung isa pang paraan is to spot, no? Is to not spot, but to separate the whole numbers from the decimal values. So, ano yung mga whole numbers dito? We have 18, 16, 13, and 9. So, ano yung pattern na makikita natin sa mga whole numbers? 18 going to 16, that is, we subtract by 2. 16 going to 13, subtract by 3. 13 going to 9, we subtract by 4. Therefore, yung kasunod dapat nito, we will be subtracting by 5. So, subtracting 5 from 9, that is 9 minus 5, will give us 4. So, meron na tayong whole number na sagot. Let us check the decimal values. Ano yung nasa decimal natin? We have 0.13, 0.15, 0.18, and 0.22. Kung napansin nyo, increasing yung ating mga decimal values. So, from 0.13 going to 0.15, that is plus 0.02, no? And 0.15 going to 0.18, that's plus 0.03. 0.18 to 0.22 plus 0.04. Therefore, yung kasunod dapat is plus 0.05. So, if we add 0.05 doon sa 0.22, that would give us 0.27. And if we combine the whole number and the decimal, ang sagot dapat natin ay 4.27, which is the same as our answer in the previous solution. So, ang ating sagot ay letter B, which is 4.27. For a problem number 3, we have here, ang ating mga given terms are, the first term is 1, second term is 4, next is 13, next is 40, next is 121, and the last term is 364. All are positive. And our choices are, we have letter A, 623, letter B is 719, letter C, it's 865, letter D is 997, and letter E is 1093. So again, as always, our first step is to find the differences of the consecutive terms. So let us subtract the second minus the first term. So 4 minus 1 is simply 3. Third minus second, so that's 13 minus 4, that is 9. Fourth minus third, 40 minus 13, that is 27. 121 minus 40, that is 81. And finally, 364 minus 121 is 243. Now, hindi common yung ating mga differences, but we can actually find a pattern sa ating mga common differences. Again, yung ating, should I say the differences, hindi common differences. No? So, the differences are 9, that should be 3, 9, 27, 81, and 243. Now, if you are keen enough, you would say that these are powers of 3. Bakit natin nasabing powers of 3? Because yung 3 ay galing sa 3 to the power of 1, yung 9 ay galing sa 3 to the power of 2, yung 27 ay 3 to the power of 3, and yung 81 3 to the power of 4, and yung 243 is 3 to the power of 5. But if you're not able to spot that, there's another way. Now, check yung mga differences din. From 3 going to 9, we multiply it by 3, no? Para mapuntang 9. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 going to 27 is still by multiplying by 3. 27 to 81 is by multiplying again by 3. And 81 to 243 is by multiplying by 3. And therefore, yung ating next na i-multiply, next na i-add would be found by multiplying yung last difference na 243 by 3. So 243 times 3 is 729, at yan yung ating i-add doon sa ating last term na 364. So 364 plus 729 will give us 1093, and the correct answer is letter E, which is 1093. For our last problem, we have here our first term is 795, followed by 2611. Next is 684. Next is 2722. Next is 573. And the last term is 2833. Our choices are A 543, B 484, C is 462, letter D is 446, and letter E is 426. So how do we go about? Again, the steps are to find the differences, no, ng mga magkakasunod na term. So if we actually check for the differences ng second and the first term, medyo malaki yung mga sagot nito, no? So differences niyan ay 1416 and so on. If you find the next differences, hindi siya common. So magkakaiba yung mga differences. Doon sa una, dalawang terms, ang difference ay 1416, sa pangalawa ay 2000 plus, and so on and so forth. So hindi common. Now, next thing na tinatitingnan is meron bang common ratio? Do we have a multiplier here from 790, the first term 795 going to 2611? Okay, now meron ba? Wala rin tayong makikitang common ratio dito sa ating mga successive na terms. Now, what we can check is the pattern of the alternating terms. Ano yun? Yung first and third term, third and fifth term. So, ano ba yung pattern nila? So, yung first term ay 795, yung third term ay 684. So, ano yung nakita natin doon? Meron silang difference na 111. Paano natin nakita yon? We can do the subtraction. 795 by minus 684 ay ang difference nila ay 111. Now if you notice, pwede nating i-check, no? Yung 7 and 6, 1 yan. 9 and 8 ay 1. 5 and 4 ay 1. So by just the digits alone, we can find merong difference yung bawat digits nila by 1. Going to our third and fifth term, which is 684 and 573, ang kanilang pattern naman ay still by 111. Now, since ang hinahanap natin ay yung seventh term, the seventh term actually is an odd term, no? So, ang pattern niya, magpa-follow siya doon sa first, third, and fifth term. So dahil we keep on subtracting 111 doon sa mga odd terms, in this case, yung ating fifth term, magsasubtract din tayo dyan ng 111. So if we subtract 573 by 111, we will get 462. And going back to our choices, the correct answer therefore is letter C, which is 462. With this, I hope you learned something from this video, and God bless to your forthcoming examinations, whether that's an entrance IQ test or civil service examination. Thank you, and God bless us all.